Well, now, look who's dropped by just in time for another story. You sure know how to make an old heart smile. Pull up close and settle in. Tonight's story's a true one, and Lord knows it still rattles around in my mind like pebbles in a tin can. This year's one of those unsolved mysteries, not one of ghosts, not quite a haunting, but something in between. The kind of thing that makes you question what's real and what's just strange enough to be true. It was in the summer, around 2000, and my whole enormous family got together for a reunion. Now, when I say big, I'm talking 10 siblings, 35 children, and more grandchildren than I can count. My sweet niece and her husband hosted the whole affair at their little fishing camp near Kentucky Lake, just outside Waverly, Tennessee. Ray and I flew into Nashville, grabbed ourselves a rental car, and drove out to the camp Friday afternoon. By the time we arrived, every cabin near the lake was taken. The only place left for us to sleep was a mobile home set back a mile or so into the woods, tucked away up a hill, real quiet like. We shared it with my niece and her little boy. Cute place, nicely kept, and had all the basics. That evening we went fishing out on the lake with some of the family. We caught enough to fry up a feast, and we ended the night with a bonfire, s'mores, and more laughs than I'd had in months. It was but late by the time we drove back up to the mobile home, showered, brushed our teeth, and all tucked in, peaceful as you please. But just before dawn, suddenly, crack, thud, thud, ping, we jumped awake to what sounded like a hailstorm tearing into the roof. Ray shot out of bed, looked out the window, but the sky was clear, no wind, no clouds, not a drop of rain. Confused, we chalked it up to some strange critter business, or maybe even tree limbs snapping in the dark. We headed back down to the camp that morning. When I mentioned the noise, no one else had heard a thing, not a peep, just us. The next day went on like normal, family, fishing, food, fun. That night we returned to the mobile home again, tired, full, and ready for sleep. But wouldn't you know it, just before dawn, again, the same racket started up. This time Ray didn't wait. He threw on his jeans, ran out onto the porch, and hollered for me and Almighty to come quick. What we saw stole the breath right out of my chest. Small rocks, about the size of pea gravel, were falling straight out of the sky, just raining down like popcorn, but only on the roof of the trailer. Not on the trees, not on the yard, just the roof. We stood there staring up at a perfectly clear sky. No wind, no birds, no branches, just the soft patter of pebbles from nowhere. Then, as soon as the sun rose, it stopped. Dead silence. Well, I wasn't about to leave empty-handed. I scooped up a handful of those strange little rocks and put them in an old pickle jar I found in the kitchen. Brought them down to show my nephew the next morning. He looked at me, squinted a bit, and said, "We've never had any complaints up there before." Later that night, a few folks had already left the reunion, and the cabin down by the lake opened up. Ray and I switched out of that mobile home real fast. No more nighttime surprises for me. Thank you very much. Now here's the kicker. I've been back to visit my niece and nephew plenty of times since then. They say there's never been another incident. Their grandson and his family living that mobile alone now. No strange noises, no gravel rain, nothing out of the ordinary at all. Except for the little jar I still keep tucked away in a drawer, filled with smooth, pea-sized stones that once fell from a clear sky. Was it nature? Was it something else? Was it someone trying to say hello or get us gone? I'll probably never know, but I still sleep a little lighter on family trips. So if you hear something tap, tap, tapping on your roof in the dead of night, don't always assume it's just the wind. Some mysteries don't come with answers, just reminders. Sleep sweet now, sugar. Granny will be back next week with another story to warm your tea and chill your spine. Until then, keep your jars sealed, your sky clear, and your eyes open.